Hey everybody, it's Christine Bertram and I'm coming to you live from the Hive on a Monday night. It's the 23rd of October, you guys, and it's odd that I'm alive tonight, not Thursday night. And I think I did that because I switched with Kelly, and Kelly's going to be doing the paper pumpkin class on Thursday the 26th instead. So you guys get me tonight. Normally Kelly would have been live with paper pumpkin tonight. So we did a little switcheroo this week. All right, you guys, I've got lots of people that are here already. So you guys were right on time, very punctual for class. I love it. I have somebody here who came to work on some die cutting and embossing, and she was just asking me some questions. So I am a little bit tardy, you guys. So I appreciate your patience. Had to get everything set up too. All right, I'm going to the live, you guys. So don't forget, for you at home, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. I know a bunch of you always mention that. I appreciate that. So I'm going to give myself a thumbs up too. Why not, right? And then we'll get into the live chat. That's not the pile I was looking for. That's the pile I was looking for, you guys. So I got my paper pumpkins in. I've got a handful of them. I think that I have potentially 3 of them available in case you missed out on getting the paper pumpkin for this month. They are Christmas cards. I know for the last 3 years, they've always done an awesome Christmas inspired card for the paper pumpkin. And so that's what I've got behind me. Next month, they do a coordinating kit that kind of coordinates with the one. So, oh yeah. And you guys, I'm sharing a chair with Mr. Hunky. He's got it nice and warmed up for me. He's been sleeping here all afternoon. And so I'm disrupting his slumber at the moment, you guys. Isn't it funny how they always want your chair? And Honey's lingering around here too, you guys. They had their first vet appointment today. We were supposed to get them in on the 14th of November. And the vet had a cancellation and said, hey, do you want to come today? And we're like, okay. So we ran them over to the vet, and they are healthy and they're good. So yay. It's good to hear that. But what they did tell us is your kittens are getting to be like 5 and 6 months old. You might want to watch to make sure that they don't make any babies. And so we're like, well, when can you get us in for the spaying and the neutering? And they're like, February. And I'm like, oh no, that's 4 months away. We could have babies born by then. But we're going to get it figured out sooner rather than later, right? So hi, Susan Bellamy. Hi, Francis Rodriguez. Long time no talk. Yes, it is going to be a fun class. Hi, Sue Spigner. There's Deb Norman. Hi, Sherry Stewart. There's Anna Carter from Kentucky. Yay. Hi, Mary Lemke. I have a honey between my legs. She's definitely trying to play with me down there. Hi, Barbara Rudolph. Hi, Randy Schultz. Hi, Linda Scott. And there's Sandy Wicklander. Yay. Hi, Sarah Merchant. Honey, get out of there. Hi, Mary Carls. And everyone else. Not sure how long I'll be able to be on. I'm puppy sitting 2 extra dogs. You have your hands full, Mary. And I'll stay as long as you can. Good. Hi, Judy Sharp. Hi, Lynn Beasley. Hey, Faye Godby. And there's Sandy Suetta. Enjoying the fall weather. We have some beautiful days here. Today was a little bit dreary, but warmer, which I don't mind. And then tomorrow we're supposed to hit 70 degrees, and I'm excited for that. Hi, Sarah Mitchell. Hi, Patty Wright. There's Sherry Everett. Oh, thanks for sharing and liking, Randy. Hi, Sue Somerville. Hi, Deanna Estelle. All right, I think I got everybody. So we have the Garden Walk ink, paper, scissors for you guys tonight. I honestly think that the Garden Walk is not like the favorite suite in the catalog for people, which is okay. We picked it because we wanted to feature it for a class. Hi, Kel. Hi, Vicki Eakins. Glad to hear that the kitties are healthy, and bring them here. Our vet will get them in. Oh, I bet, right? I wonder how they would do for a 3-hour car ride and then a 3-hour car ride back. Hi, Sandy Zidoon. Hi, Carol Alanis. There's Peggy as well. Hunky Love, yeah. He's behind me, you guys. When I can, I will share him with you. Hi, Mary Shriver. Hi, Carmen Melendez. There's Polly Libby too. Yay. Barbara Godby. I sent you those winter bingo cards, and I have a text message prepped with pictures of those cards so you know what to put together. Hi, Sherry Martin. And there's Donna Garushki. Yay. Okay. Hi, Nedra. There's Feline. Yay. Hi, Christine Domino, Karen Wetstein. Wow, you guys. Hi, Jeannie Parker and Connie Moore. I feel like a lot of you guys just rock and rolled right in here. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so we'll get started here momentarily. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Debbie. we'll get started here really quick. Talk about the garden walk ink, paper, scissors. So I think you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. Hopefully you guys like the cards that we made with the designer series paper. I feel like it wasn't hard to work with if you could coordinate and match your designer papers together. Wow, Feline, you're supposed to have lows in the 20s this week, and that's really low. Hi, Sonia. So it was like you just had to mix and match your paper together. There's a lot of subtle patterns, and then there was the flowery patterns or the very busy patterns. And so I'm gonna just open the book up here really quick to show you what I'm talking about. Garden Walk is on page 52 to 54. This one right here. So, hi Janice Ormiston. Do you have a bow maker to sell? Yes, Sandy Zadoon, I have tons of them. My guy hooked me up, my old, who I used to babysit his kids for, he makes them for me. And I have about 15 of them here. So you just let me know. They're $8 plus shipping, and shipping is usually like $5. So here's the Garden Walk Suite so you guys can see it. Like, I'll be honest with you, at first, it didn't impress me so much. I looked at it and I'm like, oh, the really thing that I liked the most out of it was the punch, I'll be honest with you. And so we did excessively use the punch on this class. The blooming pearls are pretty cool too. Hi, Jenna Helms. The braided linen trimming coral is good too. And the paper, there are certain prints in here that I absolutely love. And for some reason, I'm not the biggest wild wheat fan, but I love that print the most. That is my favorite out of all of them. And that's the one that we definitely did feature on one of the cards here. And so in a moment, we'll get started cutting. But I wanted to show, like, this is my favorite one out of all of them. And when you marry it with that paper, like, it's very complimentary. And then you stick a little old olive in there and you've got yourself a pretty little card. And then we did a lot with the peacocks and the Lost Lagoons. We pulled in some corals with the greens. And so when you marry up the pattern, it helps, like when you kind of get the complementary DSPs. Now, I will tell you guys what is really odd about this pack of paper, odder than normal, is that they had only 8 double-sided prints. Normally, when they have a 6x6 pack of paper, they usually have 12 double-sided prints. So in designing this, we designed it actually to use the pairing of the 8, right? So like these two went together for this card, right? So that's that one. And then we paired together these two for this card, all right? And then we paired together these two for this card. And then we paired together these two for this card, right? Now, I will be honest, and I need to beg forgiveness from a few people, but not a big mistake and nothing that I can't fix. But I couldn't figure out when we laid out the paper. Normally when there's 12 individual pieces, it's really easy. You have 4 piles and you put 12 on each pile and it works out great. Well, with this one, we ended up laying out 6 piles. And so everybody got 8 pieces, which is enough to make the cards for class. And it left 4 sheets basically. Like you were missing 4 sheets, but I caught it halfway through the process. Hi, Catherine Healy. So I have to go grab my purple notebook for roll call, but some of you got your whole 12 sheets and some of you only got 8. So just know, you don't have to tell me, like, honestly, you don't have to tell me. I know who got 8 and who got 12 because I kept really good notes. So if you got 8 sheets, you should have gotten 4 more, but you're not going to necessarily get, because to get 1 of each, you would get 8 more, right? So you're going to get 4, but you're going to randomly get 4 of the 8 that are left, and your counterpart is going to get the other 4. And so I caught it at like the first round of shipping had gone out, which was a chunk. Hi, Ileana. And so then once I started catching it, I put a little mark next to everybody's name, and they got 12 sheets. Now, the 4 extra that you got, you guys, you can make something pretty. That's always my line, right? Make something pretty with this. So if you got 12 sheets, you're good to go. If you got 8 sheets, just know the next time I have something to ship for you, I will be including those 4 extra sheets, but they're going to be random. They're going to be 4 of the 8, and the other 4 of the 8 will go to somebody that needs the other 4, right? So So they threw me off with that. It just kind of messed me up with figuring, like, why did I have extra like groupings at the end? So, so never fear though, you guys. I always get back to what I owe to you. And so just know that there's 8 different patterns in here. So yeah. So that was a little bit of a hiccup, but other than that, you guys, the set here, the stamps. If you flip the page over here, you can see what we got for stamps. I'll be honest with you, we didn't use all of the stamps in this set. We really primarily only use sentiments on the outside and then we use these stamps to go on the inside. Like it has here, wishing you the warm blessings of Christmas. It's like a poinsettia one, but we really didn't use some of these stamps on the outside. So just know for this class, if you are taking this class with me and you didn't get these stamps, you opted up to like, I'm not that crazy about these stamps, you can make these cards absolutely with any other sentiment stamps and flower stamps. Going into this class, you guys, I think I have 2 of this class left. So if anybody's watching this right now and they're like, oh man, I wish I would have gotten this class, don't hesitate to reach out to see if I still have them. This class was $32 for porch pickup with me, or it was $39 if you need it mailed. And just know at this point, we could always hold it here until my next round of shipping, and we could save some shipping and consolidate some packages too. Or I should say consolidate some classes. So yay. All right, so let me just have you guys, the colors here really quick. This is what we're needing for colors for tonight too. Something similar if you don't have them, like a coral color. I've got garden green, we pulled out pretty peacock, poppy parade, and lo and behold, our baby poo color, wild wheat, you guys. We don't use this very often, but now that we're into the fall, it's a great fall color. So momentarily, you guys, we're gonna get our paper set, and we're gonna cut it. I'm gonna go grab one of the kits so you guys see what you get in this class, and I'll grab my book real quick. Okay. Hunky, of course, you completely took over. You guys want to see him here before I sit down? Here, that's where he's sitting, right there. And pretty much I'm going to scoot him all the way back. Look at, he goes so happy, those paws. He's got big papa paws there. Look at them. He gets so happy. All right, you guys, so that's Hunky. And then I just have to like rearrange his feet so I don't squish the poor little boy. Okay, so you guys got your little Hunky fixed. Okay, so let's just do a little quick roll call, you guys. So I know this wasn't a favorite class of people, which is okay. It still was a good class, you guys. It wasn't a favorite class though, because when we did all about autumn, you guys, we ended up making 93, right? Last month, September, we did 93 total. For ink, paper, scissors for this month, we ended up with 56 total, which is about 40 less. And so I can tell already, like, it's not people's favorite, and I think you either love it or you maybe don't like it. But I'm still very proud and happy, you guys. We have 56 people that will be ending up taking this class. At the moment, I think there's 2 left. So I'm going to do a little quick roll call for all of those that paid for this class. I appreciate you so much taking classes with me. You're the reason that I keep doing my lives. When you take classes with me, it gives me incentive to keep making more. And when I get up from the chair. Yeah, the cats have this tendency of taking over the entire chair. All right, so first on our list is Frances Rodriguez. I think she signed up for every ink, paper, scissors, you guys, way back a couple months ago for the rest of the year. So Frances is always going to be at the beginning of our list. And then we have Julie Bierschbach, Karen Wetstein, Jenna Helms, Angela Knutson, Shirley Malarkey, Sherry Everett, Jeannie Parker, Donna Grushke, Karen Mikowski, Linda Scott, Tammy Steckling, Mary Carls, Barbara Godby, Patty Wright, Vicki Rodriguez, Sue Spiegner, Karen Woods, Marcia Dean, Faye Godby, Ruth Nicholson, Nedra Dover, Susan Bellamy, Mary Lemke, Feline Mays, Joanne Kahn, Lynn Beasley, Vera Anderson, Barbara Rudolph, Janice Ormiston, Carmen Melendez, Deanna Stell, Leslie McMinn, Jennifer Jones, Pat Fleming, Lisa Laframboy, Angel McClendon, Luann Bartling, Sandy Wicklander, Sherry Stewart, Laura Sullivan, Latokia Trigg, Mary Boltman, and Connie Moore. Myself also, and then potentially 2 to 3 others. And so I appreciate all of you girls that are here with me tonight taking the class. And if you can't ever watch a class when I have it, you guys, just always know, and especially for those that are new, you can always catch the replay later on in life and when you're ready to make the cards. That is the great thing about doing online card classes with me, is my YouTube videos are out there for you to watch whenever it's convenient for you. And also one of the perks about doing an online class with me is I always create a PDF tutorial. And you guys, I am proud to say that I emailed that out yesterday afternoon. My Monday classes have a tendency of sneaking up on me. So I was very proud. I got it out yesterday in between our sale-a-bration celebration and our retro swap party. I was like right in the middle. I got that one that mailed out to everybody. So as a little roll call, you guys, at the end we'll do a little drawing to pick somebody to win a door prize for this class. And also I do have a note. I believe it was Debbie Guest. I believe it was you. You emailed me. From last week, we did a drawing for the Circle Saying stamp set, and Debbie has it already, so she wants me to pick a new name. I'm pretty sure that this is, I'm going off of a memory from like later last week, you guys. I have to find my list of everybody who placed orders last week, and what we'll do is I might have Kelly do the drawing, or I might just randomly pick somebody and announce it. But I think we're going to do a new drawing for that because Debbie's going to pass it on. So, so you guys love the online classes. Yay, Sonia is a newbie here. Yay. So I just want to show you guys too here what you get for this class with me. The Ink Paper Series class, you guys, is always a paid for class that you can never get free with a minimum order. I do a lot of classes that if you use my host code and order over $45, you can pick out a free class. Well, this is one that is never that way. So if you ever ask, oh, can I get ink, paper, scissors for free? I'm always going to have to say sorry and with a sad face. Unfortunately, no. Hi, Linda Hunt, just watching tonight. So this is Luann Bartlings, and I'm going to be mailing this out with her team shirt. You guys, we're getting team shirts for our on stage that's coming up in November. And so Luann said I could hold off and mail this in a couple weeks when we got our team shirts ready. So what everybody gets in this class is a full roll of ribbon, and it's one that is coordinating with the cards. And so this is that coral braided trim. And this is what Luann got for her paper. She got, she's actually got all 12 of her sheets here because I caught it up, right? So she's got all 12 of her sheets here, which we'll cut into, not hers, but we'll cut into mine. And then everybody gets a full pack of embellishments. So with this one class, you guys always get a quarter pack of designer paper, embellishments. And I always put them in here backwards so that the gems are facing the paper so that if anything happens in shipping, it doesn't push the gems around. I would absolutely love for it to be looking like this when it comes in the mail, but I always put them backwards like that so you guys don't have to worry about, hopefully the gems are never all disheveled. And then the 4 card kits are in here, and you'll have leftovers from the designer series paper so that you can make more if you want. All right, a whole bunch of you guys are here. And all right, so this one's Luann's. I do have a couple people here. Oh, just a little heads up to you guys. So today was the day that we've been waiting for since September 6th. You guys, I can't believe it. A whole month and a half I've been counting down for today. Hi, Joanne Kahn. And only because today's the day that natural and copper ribbon was supposed to be back in stock. And I owe that ribbon. I owe 36 people that ribbon, and I'm buying 40. So like it's on my radar. I was like, buy 40 ribbons today, 40 packs of ribbon, because I have a laundry list of people. Not that you guys are laundry, but I have a list of people that are patiently waiting for me to return their ribbon. And so for those that got in on the back end of my ink, paper, scissors from September, I'm holding on to your kits until the ribbon comes because all of you said it was okay to hold on. And for those that are still expecting it, it says next week now. So for those also waiting for it, it says the week of October 30th. So as soon as I can order that ribbon, I'm going to put it on a 2-day order, and then hopefully I can coordinate it that it gets shipped out with one of your class packages that's going out in the near future as well. So just a little side note that you guys, that ribbon is still not in yet. Sad face. So the other thing too, you guys, before we get started with class real quick, I want to share with you what's coming up for ink, paper, scissors for next month. I had kind of estimated in my head a number, but after I've been showing the class to people, I think I upped the number. So this ink, paper, scissors that we have for next month. So I'm showing it because so like you guys, I have about 4 normal classes a month, like 4 different series of classes. The class we're doing right now is called ink, paper, scissors. And I want to show you what we have for ink, paper, scissors for next month, because if you guys can get at least signed up sooner rather than later, it will really help me pre-plan how much I need to order for the star trinkets and the ribbon when it comes back in stock. So yes, you guys are patient. I love it. You guys, ink, paper, scissors for next month. They're all fun folds as well. This one was inspired by a card Francis Rodriguez sent me. And so we have Mary and Joseph with a little lamb. I got to get that a little straight. And when you open that one up, it's got double matting. So the fun fold on this is the folded back here, that like peekaboo card. So there's fun fold number 1. This is fun fold number 2, you guys. And again, nothing for sentiments on the outside, right? So this card could be identical. Connie Moore, you might be signed up already. If not, send me a note too, you guys. Anybody that wants to get signed up for this one, just make sure to also email me or text me, however you would normally contact me, so I can just reply back, yep, got you on the list. This one, you guys, all you need is a sentiment, and it's so fun. It opens like that, so you have that whole scene, okay? And you'll use your gold and navy ribbon and add your stars. And then on the back is where we put the sentiment, but we also added some sky, some like DSP with the starry sky. And so there's your fun fold number 2. And then this is fun fold number 3. So if you don't have this stamp set, the Stars at Night or Night Divine, one of the two, you could always put a decorative background back there. You wouldn't have to have that He Shall Be Called Wonderful Counselor. So that's part of that stamp set, but you could always use a mask. Like here you could put a mask back there. You could use a background stamp. You could do something else back there, right? And when you open it up, it opens like this, kind of a fun fold. And so glory to God in the highest, joy and peace. And so it also stands up like a normal card would, so that you can put it on your desk or wherever you want to have it. Thank you. Yeah, and if you want to, you guys, if anybody wants to get signed up for any classes, you just have to let me know. But oh my goodness, that one's so fun. This is my favorite one, you guys, for the ink, paper, scissors for next month. So you have Mary and Joseph with the baby being born, Jesus, and then the animals are there hanging out, right? Because he was just born. We have an awesome manger, and that's where you're going to wrap your ribbon around here. You can add your star trinket. And then after the baby's born, then you come into the middle, and now you have the wise men and the shepherd visiting Jesus. And they came through the desert to find him, and in Bethlehem, Bethlehem, Nazareth. Right, I think Nazareth maybe. You guys have been watching The Chosen, which is the story of Jesus Christ. So I've been watching that over the last couple of months, trying to catch up on that. And so this one was really cool to me because it was like, oh, he's born, and then he has his visitors, and then oh holy night, the stars are brightly shining. And so yeah, so you guys, that is what we have for ink, paper, scissors for next month. They are very, very pretty blue cards. So go team blue on this class, you guys. There's no purple at all for my Team Purple fans. I'm so sorry, but they are very heavenly. I love these cards so much. So that's what we've got, an ink, paper, scissors, fun folds class in store for you. So I'm glad you like them, Anna. They are like, they're just so pretty. So I know that fun folds are awesome. People love fun folds. And so if you guys want to get signed up for that class, don't hesitate to reach out to get signed up sooner rather than later. So it will help me plan for the quantity. So the cards are beautiful. I didn't get that set, so I didn't sign up for that class. But just know now that you saw that, Barbara, and anybody else, you do not need to have the stamps to do ink, paper, scissors next month. You need sentiments and some sort of if you don't, that one, just use a background stamp. So Francis, you'll have to order the stamp set or know that you don't have to. You guys, I always try to make cards so that you can use what you have and kind of improvise if you don't have the stamp set. I hate for people to just feel like they have to buy a stamp set to do a class with me. So yeah, so you guys don't hesitate to message me. Email, text, call. Just make sure if you're using an Apple phone that you're not Apple messaging me, okay? Because I have a Samsung phone, and sometimes people Apple message me, and I don't ever see those messages because they come into this phone up here, and I never check those messages because I don't use that phone for anything except for this videoing. So always make sure you're messaging me via a text and not an Apple message. Yes, Karen said the ink, paper, scissors for November. Team Blue, yes, it's definitely on your list, Pauline. Perfect. Yes, you guys don't hesitate. The showcase that we're going to be doing. Thanks, Ileana. Get signed up. Yay. Sue says she wants it too. You guys are gorgeous. I have this feeling in my head, I'm planning for 96, right? Even more than the All About Autumn. And so that's kind of what I've got on my radar. And as you guys, if people can get signed up in the next 3 or 4 or 5 days, that will really help me forecast. We're planning to do the showcase of what's coming up in November. I'm looking to do it on Wednesday, you guys. I haven't set the time yet, but as soon as I'm getting the game night cards done yet tonight, hopefully, and then tomorrow Diane and I are working on translucent florals, which is later in November, and then that kind of buttons up everything for November, and we're gonna do the showcase on Wednesday. So thanks, Peggy. All right, you guys, are you ready to get ready for class? Or I should say, are you ready to cut some paper for class? We'll flip the camera down and start cutting our paper here for our kits. So you guys will have your 4 kits in your package, and just know that there are no pieces of designer paper in here because they are part of the packet of designer paper that you guys have in your kit. And what we're going to do here is cut them. And I think we're going to save this one for last because I want to open up the kit and measure something, because I might have just changed the measurement slightly from my sample. Okay, so this one first then. So this one's easy, you guys. We just are going to stamp a little sentiment on here, and I think on the inside, we just have a sentiment. So we need to cut this designer paper, the one here, and then the 2 side pieces. So let's do that first. So, you guys, I'm going to put this out there. I work in 1/16 of an inch, which I know a lot of you know that, but if you're newer to me, you might not know that. So if you're getting this class from me, I'm taking a deep breath, because to work in 1/16 of an inch isn't always easy for people, especially if you don't know how to read a ruler, right? That's a thing. And so 1/8 inch is generally easier for people, but I also firmly believe that a little bit less or more of a margin can make a card look even nicer. So I do operate in 1/16 of an inch a lot. So just know, I guess what I'm saying is I'm going to be probably for these reading off in 1/16 of an inch. I'll try to say what the 1/8 inch would be, but the thing is, you can always go up or down. Like if I'm at like 13/16, to go up would be 7/8, or to go down would be 5/8. And if I start rambling off all these gibberish numbers to you and this doesn't make sense, you might be like overwhelmed and find it frustrating. And so Nancy said she tried, and I don't know what you tried to do. So maybe let me know what you tried to do. If you tried to work in 1/16 of an inch. So just, I don't want to be overwhelming or trying to be too confusing for people. So the main thing is, and what some people do too, you guys, is they take, and I know that Wendy Ellison does this. If she has like a sample card to work with, like what you guys could do, like if this is the card you're working on and you don't know like how big to make something, you could in essence take your pieces here. And this is what Wendy does, you guys. She will hold the stuff here, and she will she'll hold this here, and she will put tick marks where she wants to cut her paper. So if that is something, the 16th. Okay, that's what I thought you meant, Nancy. So for some people that have a hard time reading a ruler or knowing where to cut things, you could always take and put pencil marks. So like here's a pencil mark and here's a pencil mark, and go that flow, right? So just know that I don't try to do things in 16th just because it might cause you guys hardship or pain or agony. I do it because I think it personally looks nicer than sometimes doing a whole 1/4 inch mat or 1/8 inch. So with that being said, with this piece right here, it makes it give you the illusion that it's a whole piece, but it really isn't. It's actually just like 1 inch on this side and 1.5 inches on that side. And I know that because that's what I wrote on here, 1 inch and 1.5 inches. So we're only using 2.5 inches versus the whole like 5 and some inches, okay? So with that being said, I wanna cut this first though. So like I'm gonna hold it like this, and the diagonals, you guys, they don't really matter. I was just reading Barbara's comment. She Googled how to use a ruler and found that one shows each measurement. It works beautifully. That's awesome. Perfect. Okay. So you guys, you could always take Barbara's advice here too and Google how to use a ruler, and she found one that shows each measurement. So that's awesome. So with the stripes, you guys, it doesn't matter if they go one way or another way. It really doesn't. So you don't have to like really pay attention to direction on this paper. My math skills were so excellent back in the day. It's all lost. You know what? That's what happens sometimes. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it this way. So if you're watching me and you want a bigger peacock margin, go with 5 inches. If you want less, go 5 1/8. But if you want it right in the middle, I'm gonna do 5 1/16. Okay, so this 5 1/16. Oh, and I'm saying the width, so I already just like confused you. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to hold it like this. So it's technically this peacock is 4 inches. So do you want 3 7/8, 3 5/8, or 3 13/16? So 3 7/8 or 3 5/8 if you're an 1/8 kind of person. But I'm gonna cut mine at 3 13/16. So it's 3 little marks before the 4. All right, so that gives us the width that we need here. Or like if you're holding it this way, it's the height, okay? Now the next 2 cuts are gonna be really easy for you guys. Hi, Becky. We need 1 inch and 1 1/2. That's easy, right? So let's knock that one out really quick. So we're gonna cut at 2 1/2 and then cut at 1. And that gave us our 1 inch piece here and our 1 1/2 inch piece there. So you guys, this is leftover. You could make another card with this piece easily. This you could definitely use on your envelope flap because it is about the right height, and then you would just trim any of that excess white off the edge here. No problem. So you could save that. All right, but there's another piece on here that we need to cut for, and it's the next piece. And you guys are gonna like this one better because it's just a 3 by 4, okay? So this piece right here is 3 by 4, super easy. Now, there is a direction to this paper, you guys. To me, my flowers are growing up, so we don't wanna cut it that way. We wanna cut it this way. And we need 3 inches wide by 4 inches tall, okay? So what do you wanna do first? Do you wanna cut it at 4 inches this way and have a section up here left over? Or do you wanna cut it at 3 inches by 4 and then you have kind of like a big chunk over here and a little chunk? Now, I'm kind of thinking that this could be the envelope flap as well. Like let's say we cut this at 4 inches. So our height is 4 inches, right? So it left 2 inches. And then this is 3 inches. So easy numbers, you guys, 3 and 4. Really easy after the last one. So what that leaves, so this is what you have here, is what we need for the card we're gonna put together. But what was left over, you guys, was another 3 by 4. And you could easily get another 1 and 1 1/2 section here to make another card. And then you have these 2 pieces that are left over, which you could use for the envelope flaps for these 2 cards. Super cool, right? So to me though, these are extra, as are these. So I'm gonna put these on my scrap pile off to the side here, okay? And then in this card kit right here, I'm just gonna set the designer series paper in here. I'm not gonna even bother putting it away. So that's done. All right, so that's that card, you guys. Hopefully that made sense. All right, this one. All right, this one should be a little bit easier because we're actually working in 1/4 of an inch for this one. All right, and this one also makes 2 cards with the designer series paper. So the measurement is actually 5 by 3 3/4. So it's 5 by 3 3/4. So I'm gonna cut it at 5 inches. So nice, easy, round number, you guys. So 5, this is a scrap. And then 3 3/4. So let's flip it and do 3 3/4. This is extra. Okay, now I'm thinking about this. Had I cut this slightly different, you guys, so this is how I cut it. Had I cut the 3 3/4 first, and then this would have left me a long strip here that you could have actually used for your envelope because this is just a little too short for the envelope. It didn't take all of its vitamins. So let's try that for the next card or the next designer paper. So we're not done with this yet. So this one though, I don't know if I really see a pattern. It can go every which way. So I'm gonna cut this first now at 3 3/4, right? So that leaves this whole panel here that you could save if you wanna decorate the outside of your envelope, okay? So then we're gonna flip it by 5. Now that left a shorter piece here, which could potentially get used actually on our inside. So I think, oh, I just realized that. So that has a strip here. So do you see how I did cut it differently? Like I cut that strip off. So this actually could go on the inside right there. So you could save that. So this one's gonna get used, and this could be the envelope. Let's actually do that. We're gonna make the envelope so pretty, you guys. We're gonna save that. Now, so we're gonna use this. So what do you have to do with this though to make that card? You actually get, yeah, I gotta go back, Mary. The inside piece on this one right here is that big. And I'll be honest with you, we're gonna save this to use for the envelope. We're gonna decorate the envelope, okay? And then we have this scrap. This could get used for another card. This could get used for an envelope. So actually what I might put on the inside here is just the polka dots. So I'm gonna set this scrap with my kit so that we have that later. All right, so we're gonna save this in the scrap pile. All right, yes, I did almost forget about that. Then how do we do this, you guys? This is actually enough to make 2 cards, right? Because this is this, and that's like, okay. So what we have to do is cut it at the diagonals and then mix and match, all right? So what I'm gonna do on my blade here is I'm gonna line up the corner to the groove, and I'm gonna line up the corner to the groove. When you drop the blade down, you don't want it to be above or below. You want it to be slightly below or above, because if you pull the blade down, you're gonna catch the corner and you might squish it versus actually cut it. It might catch it funny. So I brought it down maybe a 1/2 inch below. And the first thing I'm gonna do is go up and then down. But I'm not gonna come down all the way to actually cut the paper in half. I'm gonna leave it so that it's connected by a little more than a hair, okay? Now, because that's holding it there, now we just flipped it and we're gonna put the other corners in the groove here. And now all I only have to do is hold it on one side here together. And again, I'm gonna start like either right here, or I'm gonna start up here a hair. And now this time though, you guys, don't hesitate to cut the whole thing. All right, so go up. And then when you go down, you're not gonna catch the corner, all right? So now you have this. But what's left now, just take your scissors and kind of get it right in line and just snip it to the corner, okay? So we've got that set. So let's just set that over here, okay? And now we're gonna do the same thing on this one. Corner in the groove, corner in the groove. Come down just a hair, so that you're not catching. So go up and now down, and you're only gonna come down to as close as you can get without cutting it all the way through. Turn it or rotate it, line up the corner in the groove, corner in the groove, flat, hold the corner here. That side's connected yet. And honestly, you could start anywhere. I'm gonna go up, and you should come right back down, and you can cut it. All right, so then these are still connected. Grab your scissors, go to the corner. All right, so you can see here now, you've got your 2 sets, and what you're gonna do is just flip out these with these, and this with this. So you've pretty much got yourself ready for 2 cards. Hi, Shelly D'Arcy. Anna says, I remember my first, at this point I was overwhelmed. Hang tight. Yes, exactly, you guys. Every class that you have with me can come across that it could be overwhelming when you first start off. But as you watch more and more, you get familiar with like how I operate, and just know that you don't have to keep up with me, you guys. Like I work at this speed because this class is still going to take like another 1.5 hours. And I know that when I hit the end button, you guys are always going to go back and you can watch the replay and get it, fast forward it to where you need it to go. So ultimately, you're just cutting these like this. Now, decide which one you want to make with the card kit I gave you. I gave you 1 card kit. Do you like it looking like this, or would you prefer to make this one? Either way, it doesn't matter. But I'm gonna grab my pieces here, and I'm gonna put these in with my card kit, And then you guys, these make another card. Make something, make another pretty card. And then what I can do is set these. I'm gonna just set these in my scrap pile, but I do wanna make another card with those. So now we've cut what we need for this card, all right? So you guys, ink, paper, scissors is a little bit different than all the other classes, and that's because you actually cut your own designer paper. And if you decide that you're like, oh, I don't like what she did, I wanna mix it up and do something different, you definitely can. All right, this one, you guys, is an easy one too. All right, I promise. They're not all difficult. And this one, I don't have any designer paper in there. And our DSP is actually 3 3/4 tall, and it's by 1 5/8 wide. And there's 3 of them though, right? So 1, 2, 3. And what happens is you're gonna need 2 from this piece and 1 from this piece. And it seems kind of like, oh man, I gotta cut into this piece to get a little wedge, and that's all right. Yeah, so Feline has a very good point, you guys. She always watches first, and then she comes back and watches again to make the cards. And a lot of people tell me that while they watch me the first time, they're working on something else. They're not even working on the cards. They're watching me to see how I do it and what mistakes I make and any pointers I give so that they are good to go when they make their cards. So this is 3 3/4 tall by 1 5/8 inch wide. All right, so how do I want to cut this so that I don't kind of like cut up my whole chunk in case I want to use this for the envelope flap? So 1 5/8 by 3 3/4 means we're going to put a chunk here and a chunk here. And it's going to leave like this and this. So what I might do is cut, just watch me guys. This is just a little idea so that you don't actually cut the whole length. What I could do, and there's no pattern to this. It doesn't go any which way. So I'm going to cut 3 3/4 here because that's how tall I want it. And then I know I want 1 5/8. So it's about here and then about here. So I'm only going to cut down to maybe here. So versus cutting the whole way down, I'm going to actually cut like an L and cut a wedge out of here. All right. So now I've only cut 3 3/4. Now I want to cut 1 5/8. And I don't want to try to cut any, I'm just showing you a different way to cut paper, you guys. I don't want to like risk cutting this. And so what I'm going to do is use the bottom side of my ruler here, or my cutter. I'm going to go to 1 5/8 down here, right there. And I'm going to cut up right to where that is. And so I've just taken out 1. And now I'm going to bring my piece over to here. And I'm going to cut out the second one. All right. Okay. And so I can see I didn't quite get all the way over. I'm so close though. So all I really have to do is take my snips and snip that little wedge out. And so now I've just left the piece completely like that. I could use a section here or I could use a section here. Just a way to, you know, instead of cutting it all the way up, now you can figure out what you want to do with this piece. Now the same thing for this one. So these are these two. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. I'm going to cut, either I can cut 1 5/8 and then to 3 3/4, but I'm going to notch it out of here. So I'm going to go 1 5/8. And the ruler, I can't see it, you guys. The ruler has numbering on it. It's got 4 right there. So if I go right about down to here, I should be safe. And then what I can do is come down here to 3 3/4. Oops, I don't want to do that. This, there. Okay. So this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to get 3 pieces that are all 3 3/4 tall by 1 5/8 wide. And the way I cut them, I notched them out of here, which left this entire thing as a whole piece. Sandy said, retirement has been rough on your health. Oh no, usually retirement should be good on your health. Sorry to hear that, Sandy. And Debbie said she organizes while she watches. I love it. That's good too. So now you can figure out, well, do you want to use one of these for the envelope flap, you guys? This piece right here is the perfect size for it. So knowing that, like, I could always cut that off like that, that will be perfect. And I think I want to do that because I can. So knowing that now, I'm going to cut this. This is my scrap now. And we're going to use this as the envelope flap. So I think that goes with this kit over here. It's the coral with the green. Okay, so this all will go in this kit right here. All right. Oh, Debbie said she put tear and tape on the numbers of the ruler on the underside. Yeah, that probably would really help because it's so see-through that you can barely see it. All right, so this guy is last, you guys. Now, I would have to say this might be I said this is my favorite designer paper. So I did this. I'm going to grab the pieces out of here. So this one and this one, because that's where our designer paper actually is going to mat onto. And this, we purposely made this, I believe it's going to be 2 3/8 inch wide. Okay. And then the other one is 1 3/8. Perfect. So you guys, in your tutorial, you'll have all the measurements. So I do have my recipe cards on the back here to help me. I'm just trying to double check here. And then the height of this is 5 1/4. So this is another one where I'm going to operate in a 1/16 of an inch on this one because this is actually 5 1/4. All right. So what we're going to want, pick whatever part you want, you guys. This is where the ball's in your court. Like, you can cut this page however you want. And we're going to cut a section here to put in here, and then we're going to cut it to the right height. Figure out which section you want. I definitely know I want one of these red flowers in here, and I'm trying to figure out where I want it to show off, where will it show the best. So this one right here would put this flower like right about there, which is really, I think that's a good spot for it too. One of the flowers is covered up here, right? So you don't get to see it when it's covered up. So you guys go round and round until you figure out where you cut the DSP would be best. And actually right here, I'm gonna cut it like this, and we're gonna make sure that that flower ends up right there. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna cut at 2 3/8 inch here. So 2 plus 3/8. And so just know that this is the piece that's going to go right in here. So that was 2 3/8. Okay. Hi, Gwen Simmons. And then it's 5 1/16 high. So you go to 5 plus 1 little tick mark. Now, if you get it to 5 inches, you're good. You might just need to trim a little bit off your side. So once you cut your designer paper, you guys just set it in your mat here and just double check it to make sure that the border around it is consistent. If it's not, and one side is smaller than the other, then just trim a little bit off the opposite side here, right? So if it's good one way and it's needing a trim job off the other, then do that. So that one's done. Then we have this one, which goes here, and figure out which way you want your little dots. Do you want them going up and down vertically, or do you prefer them going sideways like this? Either way, doesn't matter, just whatever makes you happy. It is going to be 3 13/16 wide by 1 3/8. So I want mine going this way. So I'm going to cut 1 3/8 inch off. So 1 3/8. That should be my height for this guy. All right, perfect. And then now that was 1 3/8. This one is actually going to be 3 13/16. And that piece fits right here, like that. Okay, so I challenge you, get your designer paper cut and test it on the mat, excuse me, and then figure out if you need to trim off a little bit more on one side or the other side. So that's for that one. And now we have this left. So the question I have is, do we want to use this on the envelope or this on the envelope? They're both really pretty, but I'm going to save this to put on a card. So I actually am going to cut this to be for my envelope flap, and that is 2 1/4. So I'm going to cut this at 2 1/4, and I still would have enough left here to make another card with this scrap over here. So this will be for my envelope flap, and then we have this stuff ready for our card. So I'm going to set all that, and you know what? We're going to work on this one first. So that completes the cutting portion. Hi, little guy. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, man. All right. Sorry, I was getting some hunky love there. All right, so let's do our envelope first, you guys. So what I do is I fold this backwards, and then you can put a little bit, you can do liquid glue or tear and tape, and I'm getting to the end of this. Oh man, I think it might be tonight might be the night where we get a new liquid glue out. And you gotta be really careful. I got a fly in here, guys. It came in the other day and it's still alive. If you do bang on your envelope or your cardstock like that, sometimes it puts a dent in it, I'll be honest. So you gotta be careful if you do that. So I wanna set this right into the fold here. And then we're just gonna fold that, get it kind of wedged in here. All right, and glue that nice and flat. And then all I do now is take my scissors and I use the envelope. Look at that fly. Look at him. He is tormenting me right now. He thinks he owns this place. Get out of here, shoot fly, don't bother me. All right. You can use your scissors to do this. And now it went over by Hunky. It was on Hunky's face. All right. Or if you guys want, you can always grab out like a paper trimmer and get it lined up on here too. So if you like to use something like this, that cuts it nice and straight too. But ultimately, we're just decorating the flap so it matches. All these cards are gonna have matching envelopes, you guys. All right, so let's see what else we have in here. So we've already talked about the designer paper here with the mat, and this goes over the top like that. You have a Calypso coral base. You're going to need to burnish this. Then we mixed in, it's an Old Olive fern embossing folder. I should say the Old Olive was embossed with the fern embossing folder. It's on Real Red. So that's here, like that. And then we did a double mat for the inside. So you have Old Olive with basic white. That'll be for your inside. We use a deckled rectangle. He does want to be the star of the show. He does. So we have a deckled rectangle. And this is from the Gorgeously Made dies. We actually pulled in those dies for this class. And then these two pieces are from the Bow Builder Punch. So this one's with Old Olive and then with Real Red. And I noticed on my leaf here that part of, like if you ever get like little snaggle tooths from the punch and they're kind of fuzzy, don't hesitate to just grab your scissors and you can always just cut those off. And then they're nice and smooth. Sometimes the punch, oh, you guys, Hunky is rearranging. Sometimes the punch gets loved and it can get worn. You guys, I want a big shout out. Karen Wetstein helped me punch out all of these little bow punches. And Karen Forward helped with die cutting, you guys. It was a team event here. The other thing too I noticed on my kit here is that I have a very little red border versus how much I really want. This one, the border's a little bit bigger. When you guys have this and you see that, like if you want a little more red border, as I do, all you have to do is grab out your trimmer and you can trim a hair of this off. So like what I would do here before I get glue happy is I'm just gonna take a small smidgen off, just like this much and that much. And then now I'm gonna hold it back up to it and see if I did okay. And now I've got a little bit more red. So you might wanna do that with your card kit if you want to. Okay, so we can get a little bit glue happy here, guys. So why don't we grab this piece here, we can do this piece, and then we can actually glue this. And we're gonna set that there. And I'm just gonna measure these really quick together. We're good there. So I'm gonna get a little bit glue happy. Let's see how much glue I can make come out of this guy. All right, so there's that. You guys, I know this makes people nervous when they first start watching me. You don't have to be nervous for me. I'm all good. But what I do like to do is as long as I have the glue, all right, that's getting annoying. So we're gonna grab the next one. I do like to prep as much things that need to get glued at one time. Oh man. so that if I'm opening up the glue bottle, I only got to open it like one time and then I'm good for a little while. All right. All right, so this one goes on here. And this fern also has, to me, no pattern differentiation. Like you could put it one way or the other way, whichever you want. I made sure here to, I don't know if I did make sure. You gotta be careful. Did you notice here that we cut the deckled rectangle out of there? And that I should have glued the top of the mat because now I've got a little bit of glue coming through there. So just be careful with that. I'm just gonna leave that like that. And then this one goes on here, like that. And then this is gonna go on the inside of our card. Just like that. So if you guys like to cut out stuff out of your mats that are gonna end up getting covered up, you know, you wanna do that before you get glue happy too. All right, so this one's gonna go down next. So a little bit of glue. So I just opened up the glue bottle. Can you guys see that it wants to come out really fast? So I'm just gonna eyeball that this is gonna go right about here. And I am going to try to center because I do notice that it might be a hair longer than what it needs to be. And if that's the case on yours too, don't fret, it's okay. And get that situated on here. Just grab your ribbon or your paper scissors. You can always trim off anything off the side here that you need to, just like that. And then I'm gonna trim a little off of that side. And we're still in good shape here. You and Rose taught, so I think I taught Rose that. Rose has taught me a bunch of things, but I think she watched me a bit ago and she saw how I glue everything because I've always done that. You guys, especially making swap cards, I definitely glue everything all at once that I can. All right, so we're just, this one I popped up, you guys. So that's why I threw on some dimensionals back here. Now remember, I wanted that flower up here. So in all honesty, you know, maybe the paper could have gone that way because that leaf is going that way. But when this gets put on here, you're not gonna know that the leaf, and this one's kind of going that way, so it'll still be okay. So we're going to just line this up, something so it's flush at the top here. And should be good like that. And just, I'm gonna check to see if my bottom is flush, and it looks like it is. Then what we can do is grab our glue again here. This is another one where if you would have wanted to cut something out of the back of that red mat, you very well could have. And there's that. So we're gonna, you guys see I test it to make sure that I'm putting the card together right, not that I put it upside down. All right, so there's that. Now we have enjoy your special day. And then I made this one a happy birthday. It's your birthday. And then we have a red flower on the inside. They are photopolymer stamps, so I'm gonna grab the mat out and we're gonna grab real red ink actually for this one versus Poppy Parade. You think you're so funny. All right, so grab enjoy your special day and the real red ink and figure out which way you want that to go. And we're gonna ink up and make sure it's on there straight. Sometimes if you get them crooked, it'll stamp crooked. So kind of eyeball it before you stamp it. So that enjoy your special day goes right there. Good. And then the inside here, I've got Old Olive and then that flower funky one. So we're gonna stamp that. Gonna grab a little scrap paper. Put that underneath in case I go over the edge of glory. Oh, I think it could all fit on there. All right, so there's that. And then we're gonna do, I guess I didn't grab Old Olive. Every time I get up, I risk Hunky taking over the whole seat. All right, then we're gonna do Old Olive for It's Your Birthday. Okay, and then the inside could very well be the wild wheat, baby poo. And instead of it being full strength, like that. I think I'm gonna go for the second strength, which is stamping off, or people call it second generation. But I feel like that looked a little bit more yellowy than doing the full strength. So very little stamping here, you guys. For this one, you just need a couple sentiments and something for a focal image on your inside. Then this can get glued onto your inside. This. So the double matting, you guys, it really ties in when you can, like the old olive pulls out the old olive. So we absolutely love to do our double matting. All right, now this stuff. So that was our deckled rectangle. And that goes, this goes, and I think it's facing that way, that, and then we have our label like that. And then we have a triple bow. So, bow maker. I was talking about that earlier, you guys. Sandy Zidoon was asking about a bow maker. So it looks very similar to this. My guy that makes them now, he makes them just a hair bigger. It has a spot to put the nails on the side for storage. And the bow makers now I have him, he does every half inch. So there's actually even one in the middle here that he does. Just does it every half inch a hole. And you put your nails in. As you use it, the hole nails get bigger and bigger and they get worn. And so like you get different, even more in between measurements, because like my nails here at the top are closer together than at the bottom. And so when you look at that, those are actually a little bit smaller, and it's kind of like right about there. So just figure out where you want your bow. Like that's good to me. So in your kit, you guys will have your braided linen trim here in coral. And what I do is I take the loose end and I wrap it around 1, 2, and then 3. So you've got 3 bunny ears that are going to be on each side. You want to make sure you have enough here to go over, under, and then around. So it goes under, and they make that X here. This is the back, and then it goes up and over, and this is the front. And I actually did 2 times around, you guys. So this is 1. Bring it back and do 2. Okay? So you have two little lines in the front versus 1. Now you're going to make an overhand knot. So go in the hole, and as I tighten, I go down and to the left and to the right. So knot that, and I'm pulling it tight, and my tails now are going down the side. And I hardly wasted any ribbon because this is the end of the roll. So I'm good there. And now I'm only going to trim off a little bit off of each of these. And so now I've got my triple bow that looks like that. It's super cute. Okay, and that's gonna go right on the corner there. So let's get that figured out. Okay, so I popped up the circle, but I don't know, we could or we don't have to, but let's think here. So this one I popped up here, and then I put a dimensional here, and then I put a double stack of dimensionals here because it's one height, and then that's a second height. So the other thing too is we need to get our foliage down behind. So let's put a little tear-in tape behind our label on the right-hand side. Now the good thing about this, you guys, is I have my sample. So for me, I can just set this right here, and I'm like, oh, I stamped these up. No, I didn't. I did them exactly the same. So I can set that here, and that's where I have this one. And then I can set this right here, and that's where I have this one. Now, there's a tail here. So that's kind of what the back looks like. It's catching that tear-in tape. I'm gonna put another piece right over the top to really hold it. And I believe, let's just see if I did cut that tail off or not. I did. So your choice. Do you want to see the tail coming out the bottom here, or do you want it trimmed kind of like how I have it on this? We could leave this tail on just for now to see what it looks like, and we could test this like that. I don't know, your call if you want to take that off or not. So I think what I'm gonna do, I think I wanna see it not on here so that there's this random tail. We're gonna take the random tail off, so just snip that. And I'm gonna put that, and then this bow is gonna go over here, just like that. So what we can do to keep things simple is we can put liquid glue on this versus actually popping it up. And then we can take our tear and tape off of that. And so this circle is going to go right about here. And then we're going to put a dimensional on the right side here. And that's the part that hangs over. And that kind of fits right about there. And hang on, I didn't get it far enough over. It needs to go way to the edge there. All right. Because you don't want it half on this and half off of it. All right, something like that. And you want a little wiggle room, you can wiggle yet. So before we get it 100% down, I want it up just a hair, you guys. That. All right, then mini glue dots are gonna be what you want to put the bow down. So grab a glue dot and I'm gonna put it on the back side. Find out whichever the back is. We're gonna put that on the back side and it's gonna go right on the corner of this. And kind of finagle tooth your bows like that. One more, I think, for good measure, because it's a little bit bigger of a bow. I'm gonna take one more here and I'm going to put it right underneath that knot again. And press that glue really good into it. Grab your ribbon scissors and you can always trim one side a little bit and then the other side. And so this is all the ribbon I wasted for making that bow. And there you go. All right, so we've got some bloomin' pearls yet to add to this, and we could also Stella Ella Ella. You could have definitely Stella our little foliage pieces here. You could do your circle as well. And you can do your flower in the background here. You can even do your designer series paper on the sides. The Stella just adds a little bit of shimmer to it. It's very pretty. Okay, blooming pearls. So this one, these blooming pearls come in different flavors and colors. Bubblegum, no, I don't know, pretty peacock gold, and then there's like an old olive. And I must have had another one on this card at some point, but it fell off. That's where with these guys, you gotta make sure you push down so that the adhesive kind of sticks really good so that they don't wanna fall off later. And that, I put a gold one with a green one. And I think I probably had a gold one right in the middle of that flower. Now on this one though, I could probably add another one over on this side right there. You've got a whole package of them, you guys. So you could definitely do as many or as few as you want. Maybe I'll put one in the middle of that flower, and then maybe I'll put one in the middle of that. Now, I couldn't do that. Well, I could actually, because there's one there, so I could definitely pop one in there. But now I have 4 on there, so I think I'm gonna grab one more gem. Look at me putting gems on my card here. So I always like 5 or 3 or 7. So it's odd numbers, like a floral arrangement. Do you know that's a deckled circle? Do I keep calling it a square? Sandy Wicklander, you're funny. If I kept, so I will tell you guys, if I was calling it a square, that's because this is probably the first time I ever used these deckled circles. I don't even know what I was saying, you guys. So these deckled circles are brand new. The first card that I ever used them on is this card. And so they've had deckled rectangles, and I just used them to design a game night card this afternoon. So they're right here in the catalog, page 63. They're huge, you guys. They go up to like this big. And so one of these, second smallest one, is probably the one we used here. So definitely a deckled circle, not square. Good. All right, so, he's still around here. All right, so we got that one done. Yay, very good. Okay. Let's get you back in there and let's set you, it's pretty, right? Like, I would have to say that was probably one of my favorite ones. And then we've got a really nice matching inside. Pretty birthday card. All right, so there's one done. All right, so let's go on to the next card on the pile, which is this one. And let's grab all of our pieces. Now, the rest of these cards actually have, 2 of them have splattering, I think, actually. So we're gonna be doing some splattering. All right, this one, we decided we're gonna decorate the envelope as well. So let's grab, this is the piece we're gonna use. So I like to flip this backwards. And we're gonna set the glue right down. I glue the envelope versus gluing the designer paper because the designer paper is usually bigger and it might go over the edge. So we're gonna put this right to the edge there. And then fold this back, make sure it's nice and smooth. And then this one looks like I cut the exact width for the envelope flap perfectly. So let's just trim the sides up good. And then we'll have a matching envelope for this card. And we'll grab out our pieces. You'll definitely want to burnish. Keep this card horizontal. Now you have 2 pieces of garden green. One is for the top and one is for the inside, right? And you can see here, utilizing the mat for our foliage piece here. That was definitely cut out of the middle. And then I'm gonna save this one though to be for my top, okay? I always try to avoid any die cutting out of the bottom piece that goes in the inside of the card because when you're writing out your love note, there might be a dimple or like a divot that it goes down. So I always try to keep the flush one as the inside one. And then this guy is done already. This is one of those countryside dies. Thanks everybody. This is one of those countryside in dies and then the countryside blossoms embossing folder. And that was right out of the middle. And then you guys will have an oval in here and that's from that modern oval punch. So that goes here. This does get cut, you guys. This isn't, it isn't meant that it's like one piece. It actually gets cut. And I'm gonna look at here really quick to see how we did it. This is one piece. And then what we did is we cut it off here and we cut it right there. Okay, let me just check. Yeah, nope, I lied. Hang on. It's cut right there, which I can see that. Yes. So we're gonna cut this right here. So when you guys cut this, or when you cut yours, just cut that smooth. Ooh, it flies. Hang on. So there's that. And then this gets cut off right here. So we'll keep that. So there's one piece. Now, you've got this knickery here thing on the edge here. You want to kind of smooth that out. You don't want it to make it look like, so I'm just going to take my scissors, if I can hold it. I'm going to take my scissors and kind of round that so you never even see that it looks like it was cut there. So that is one like this. And then this guy, he's going to fill in over here like that. But we want to make sure that we don't have these 2 little like pointy things there. Okay, so we just cut that into 2 different pieces and that will help fill it in to make it look a little bit fuller like that versus having one that looks thinner. Okay, so that's what we did for that. We need to do a little stamping and then we're gonna splatter. There's not much for stamping on this card either, you guys. So this looks like we did them opposite. We did It's Your Birthday on the outside. And then we did Enjoy Your Special Day. And I'm just gonna get these cleaned up really quick. And then a little flower and some leaves on the inside. All right, so let's grab the piercing mat back. And we're gonna grab these 2, and we need garden green ink. And It's Your Birthday. We're going to party like it's your birthday. So ink that up in the garden green. And I realized I didn't clean this one, so let me clean that really quick. And I think that's gonna be in garden green as well. All right, go right about there. Cool. And then the flower. So the flower on this one is in coral. Coral is on the bottom. And it's the different flower though. So that kind of matches that flower right there. So put that in the bottom corner. Now our leaves. Now the leaves here are kind of not so fun. Deep breath, right? You guys heard me do the deep breath. You got a mask or you kind of fit it in where it needs to go. I'm gonna grab a scrap here. I have it right here. Because you don't want it to hit the coral part, right? And so I think I actually stamped off because the green is really dark. So stamp off, otherwise it's super dark. And there is like an opening right there. So I'm gonna try to like fit this right there so that it's coming out of the opening. And I feel like there's another open spot over here. And that fit in there good. But now some of those are smaller and I want one more. And so what I'm gonna do actually is clean the stamp. And when you do this, you wanna make sure that there's no lingering residual ink left. So stamp off, get it so it's not tacky wet. And when you ink up, maybe don't get that bottom portion. Maybe get close to the edge, but not really. Not over, right? At the Price is Right. So then stamp off. And then this one, we're going to put it right there. And so it kind of went even with that and it made it look like it was masking from behind. Now you could just put washi tape on it too, but I think that's too much work. So I just went with that route. I think that's it for the garden. In the interim, I saw something landed right on my card here. And it's ink related, so I'm just gonna grab so you guys, this is where the ink eraser comes in handy. Something landed right there and it has ink on it. And so I'm just going to take my ink eraser and I'm usually successful with it. So then just put a little bit and it came off. All right, now that inside's done. But on the card here, you guys, if you've never splattered with me before, you're gonna learn all about splattering, all right? You gotta be very careful with the splattering though, and that is because it goes everywhere. So we're gonna grab a little bit of, so I'm grabbing the block that has that little stamp. We're just gonna grab a little bit of ink. Like it's not a lot, there's just a little bit of ink on the corner there. And shut that. This is where your aqua painters or water painters come in really handy. Thanks, Karen. And you're gonna put a little drop of water on there. And I do this because my Stella pen is not the most hydrated Stella pen. She could handle drinking a little more water and getting more water in her diet, but I gotta add a little rubbing alcohol to her. So I'm gonna put lots of sheets out here to hide my stuff so I don't get splatter everywhere. I'm gonna grab my Stella pen and I either grab a scissors or a bone folder and just make sure there's no color in there. And because I added a little water, it's adding a little liquid back to my Stella pen. And then what you do is you kind of tap your Stella pen. And see, it's going everywhere and not always right where you want it. So that's why you put paper. Some people actually have boxes that they create, like a light box, but it's for like a splatter box. There, you see what's happening is we're just taking away our whites, like the white space. All right, so now just wipe out your Stella pen and then you get that coral ink out of there. Otherwise you're gonna end up with coral the next time you go to use your Stella pen. And just clean it out. And now you've got a nicely decorated label. So just give it make sure it's dry before you touch it, but it just puts splatter to help us with that white space. Okay, done with that, and now I think we get to finish assembling. So let's see here. Let's glue. Let's get glue happy. We have to be careful with this one because we have a hole here. And you might just take and line up these pieces. Oh. I just realized what happened. We've got a hole. So we need to cover up our hole. So, yeah. On the sample, there's actually a little bit of garden green showing in the middle. On the cards that we make, we are gonna get rid of some of that middle. And we can't have our hole showing. So we're gonna go like that. and it'll be just as fine. Okay, well, there you go. Aren't you glad we figured this out together? All right, so what we're gonna do is, this is kind of pretty much how it needs to go. I'm seeing that it's a little bit more green on the left and the right than the top and the bottom, and that's okay. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to leave these kind of situated right here, and I am going to glue my green one in the middle first. And I'm gonna not move those guys. And actually, we're going to put the glue. Oh, there was a glue dot, you guys, that got stuck on the inside of this. There it is. Okay, we're gonna put the glue right here. So talk about trying to be efficient, right? We're gonna put the glue here and there. And then this, I'm gonna like hold this while this goes right there. And make sure I got that lined up good. Yeah, the glue is a little bit wiggly yet, so you can still rearrange things. All right. See? There. Okay, so that's glued, and now we can flip these two over like this. Use oh, you're right, Karen Wetstein. Oh man, you're so smart. Okay, this is what Karen said to do. You love it, you guys? This is what Karen said. You can go ahead for this time. See, I love it. This is like live TV, right? You guys, okay, so we can glue this here. And there we go. It's not what I think I had intended in my head, but it will work, okay? So I just want that down a hair right there. Good job. All right, well done. Now let's go back to here. Because now what really I wanted, and Karen saved the day for me, what I really wanted was, it's about the same green margin around every one. It is very close. So that's about what we're working with, okay? So knowing how that's what I see, I'm going to actually, this time, this is what I would have normally have done. I would have put the liquid glue and done the outer two first. Excuse me. All right, so then this is gonna go over here like that. And then this one's gonna go on this side. And I do the two outer ones first. And I do that because then I just need to center the middle one. Okay, so I got my outsides good. Now I'm gonna add just a little bit more, but you're going to feel it when you write. So be careful. Yes, Carol. And it's actually whoever wins this card is gonna notice it. Oh, yes. So here, this is what I really intended. So you guys, it's your call. You saw, that's why people watch first and then they make their cards together later, or they put their cards together later. So like, this is what I really had intended, to have a little bit of green everywhere. So, if you are okay having them squished together and leaving that mat on the top, go for it. All right, so now it's time for a little bit of ribbon. And this is where you guys can practice your ribbon conservation methods, or you can leave them by the wayside, whatever you want. So what you could, and what I mean by that is you could cut 3 pieces that are 6 inches long, 1, 2, 3, and use this much ribbon, right? Or, so that's like what? I would have to say 18 inches. Or if you want to practice the ribbon conservation, and if you don't know what that means, is just watch, I will do it here so you can see. I'm putting my label here as a guide, right? So I know that I need that to go right about there. You do end up using a little bit more tear and tape, but tear and tape is less expensive than ribbon. So now what we're gonna need, so this is gonna go to here, to here, to here, to here, and we need this much to do 2 of them. And so now we're only using, it's probably saving us about 6 inches, you guys, okay? So your call, do you wanna save 6 inches or do you not care? It's up completely up to you. You can watch how much extra work it is to do this if you do end up doing this way. So what I'm going to do is center this right in the middle here. And then I'm going to catch the back, bring it right next to it, and then bring it this way and line it right up. And then I'm going to roll this right over and put it on that side. And so that gives it the same effect as if you would have used the ribbon the whole length of it. But now you do have to use a little bit more tear and tape here. Always have to do the double on the back like that. Well, thank you, Gwen. Thanks, Karen. Thanks, Karen. Thanks, Deb. Thanks, Nedra. All right. So again, you want to make sure that your tag covers that. All right. And then we're going to take this side off and this side off. And we're going to take and center this one. Just eyeballing. You guys, you can get the ruler out if you really, really, really want to. But I don't ever like to do that. So then we're going to bring this, fold it back, put it right next to it, bring it right back on the top side of it, and then bring this one like that and there. Okay, so what you save is this times 3. All right, then you do need the tear and tape. Yes, watch first and make your card after. Yes, you guys, you learn. Because a lot of these cards, you guys, are very intricate. There's a lot of details that go into them. And until I actually make them myself, sometimes I don't remember that stuff. All right, so then, you guys, these are both ready for gluing. Glue. Glue. All right. This is our top. So there's a nice flower here that could be, that'll show in the corner here, or you flip it this way and you've got a leaf coming up this way and the flower in the top corner. So I think I'll go like this. Put that right down. Push that tear and tape in. And then we can put our inside in. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't put a center for this flower. I wonder if I didn't there either. Oh, I did. Okay. I think what we'll do is we'll use the wild wheat again and do it at second strength. So it's more yellow in the middle. The one I did, I just used the red color, I think coral, but I think I like it with the yellow in the inside. Looks prettier to me. Okay, now this. So what you're gonna wanna do is put tear and tape on the back side of our label here. And because I have the sample, I have the benefit of being able to, so you guys, this is a good tip. When you make your sample or your prototype, then use it as a guide for helping you to make other cards. Because now I can set that there. And then this one is here. And I need to add more tear and tape because it didn't pick it up. Tear and tape got covered. So let's just put one more piece here. And there's ink there. That's why I might have got ink on my card before. All right, so let's get this lined up. So you guys, when you're making your prototype, it's nice to have a prototype because you can easily use it as a guide for adding your pieces again. So that's how we did that. And I am going to take and put one more piece back down there. And we're gonna take our dimensionals, prep the backs of that, and then I did use dimensional back here. Now, I would not put dimensionals through the middle though, because you've got that linen thread there, but I am going to take and make a track or a channel. So put this here, and then you can put this one here. And now your linen end, we don't have the linen or the braided trim, so we can actually put a couple here right in the middle, otherwise we'll get a saggy middle syndrome here. So that'll help pop that up. But you don't want to have the dimensional where the ribbon is. All right, and I definitely would pop this piece up for sure because that braided trim here is a little bit thicker. All right, so now center this. Oh, and actually it's not quite centered, you guys. Well, that's why Gwen Simmons watches first. If you look at this, it's actually not in the middle. Did anybody catch that? This card actually is south of the equator. The ribbon, so you guys, the middle is the equator to me. And it's actually, if you look at here, the difference, it's down by about 1/4 inch. Do you see that? So for those that haven't made your cards, you could, if you want, if you like the look of it down further because your leaf is up here, bring it down a hair. So with that being said, I am not going to attempt, you guys probably have seen me in the past like dismantle a card and like remove the ribbon. I'm not going to try that with this because I pushed this down really good. So I'm going to work with what I have and show you the two different options. Like you could, in essence, move the, okay, so let's say you put this right here. It's down a little bit and the ribbon is not coming out the middle of it. It doesn't look so terribly bad. So if you know, and what's the main thing is you want to have room for your leaves so they don't hang over the top. So if I move this up and put this up to be centered, let's see what it looks like. So if I put this up to be centered like this, and then I stick this on here, my leaf is kind of going over the edge and it looks top heavy to me. So if you can see the difference, this one kind of seems more proportionate. This is down, but then the leaf adds the top heavy. Thanks for sharing, Betty. All right, so now make your decision if you've already put your ribbon down. I'm actually going to move this down a hair. Let's get that guy back. I'm gonna move this down just a hair so it helps with offsetting of the weight of the card. So it's just a little bit more to the north of the label, but it'll be okay. You guys, when you make your cards at home, they're never exactly like mine. And you make improvements and you make improvisions how you want to do it. I just try to share with you how I do it. So we're gonna put this guy right about here. It's centered left to right. That I did do. And now I've got it so that my leaf is there. And I'm good with it. All in all, it's going to, nobody's ever going to know. Excuse me. All right, so we're getting there. We need some more of this though. I've got a triple overhand knot here, right? What does that mean? You want to cut 3 pieces here, like that. Now, this makes it bulky though. So if you're not a fan of having a big knob over here on the side, you might consider just maybe only doing 2 lines or 1, right? 1 might be really thin. You could probably get by with 2. So if you go with 2 though, then only cut 2 of these. But if you do the 3, what you're gonna do is just take your tails here and you're gonna put them right through the hole. And we call this an overhand knot. That's really cool as the 3 lines kind of go together. And you can pull each one a little bit tight, right, like that. So you have like 3 little fingers coming off each side. And then you're gonna take and use a glue dot to put those on. It looks good either way, yay. So I'm just showing you guys different ways you can do it. If I would have not realized that it was that, I would have just showed you and said, hey, you could do it 2 different ways. Now I'm gonna put the side that's more straight or straighter, we're gonna put that right along the edge there. And then the kind of curve out part goes to the right. And now is the fun part. You can trim your tails. So make them as long or as little as you want, but I kind of make them so they're not all the same. So grab that, and then we're gonna do this one. Okay, and then we're gonna do right about there. Make the bottom one a little bit longer, and then that one can be a little shorter. All right, here we go. All right, so the card layout is pretty cool, you guys. You can mix and match whenever you have 2 DSPs that you absolutely love. And this would be a great mystery card layout, I think. Mixing and matching 2 different DSPs. Make them like a panel on the front of a card. And you can definitely go through and Stella your greenery here. can stella up your flowers. You could stella your embossed piece here so that it catches the raised areas. And that little flower could get it, that one could, and that one. All right, and then this one, for our bloom and pearls, the pinks look good here, the green oliveies look good here. So we're gonna grab, let's see here. You can even use these big gold ones, like in the middle of the flower would be really cool. And then let's see here. We're gonna find a spot. We're gonna put one here if it wants to stay. And we'll put a bigger green one right next to it. And then the pink ones are pretty on here too. Let's see here. Because I put that flower, I wonder if I put it right there, and then we'll put another green one down here. There. All right, so I added a few of the bloom and pearls. They make good centers of the flowers. Press them down, and then you've got your matching envelope already ready to go. All right, so we've got two done. Very nice. All right. There we go, there we go. All right. You're so funny, Monkey. He's nestled right into the back of my back and he's pushing me with his feet. Okay. Looks good either way. Sure does. All right. Two done. All right, let's go to the next one then. This one's an easy one, you guys. You're gonna like this one a lot. Now that we've got the cutting done for this one, we've got to do our envelope. So let's go ahead and flip that back. And the glue. That's what's so awesome about the ink, paper, scissors, you guys, is that you can go ahead and do your matching envelope because you've got the extra paper to do it. All right, so we're gonna get that nice and snug with that. And we're going to just trim. And you've got extra paper left to make a few more cards if you want to. All right, so there's the envelopes. You guys didn't know how easy it was to make envelope flaps, I bet. All right, so that's ready to go. We'll set that there. Let's pull out all of our pieces. And thanks, Melody. And Debbie loves the colors together. Great, great, great. All right, so you guys, for this one, you have your inside piece is like this. You have your outside piece. And these triangles are what's going to go onto one of the, it's Lost Lagoon. And so that'll go here, that'll go here, and then you've got one more triangle, and that'll go here. So I always recommend that you guys get a feel for where stuff needs to get glued so you can visualize what kind of a margin or border you have. So you can see when you glue the first piece down, like where stuff is gonna go. So it's a really little border on this one, okay? So what I would do is flip out my pieces like that. And when you use the liquid glue, your call. If you wanna glue everything like this all at once, if you work faster with this one, you have wiggle room. So I remembered that the margin is very small. So I'm gonna put that like that. And I'm going to put this like that. And then I'm going to put this guy in here. And I still have the ability, it's still wet enough that I could always pick these up really quick and rearrange them. But I made good mental notes at how close everything needed to go so that when I glued it down, I didn't have to wiggle things. But if I need to right now, that I put enough glue on there. Do you see that? I could just pick that right up. And now I can reposition it if I need to. Okay, the less glue, it glues faster or dries faster. Love the way the card makes the sentiment set into it. Good, 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 good. All right, so that's good. Now this, and we could glue this already too. So let's put a little bit of glue behind our Lost Lagoon mats and put them onto our card base and into the inside. All right, and you guys, I love liquid glue because I can maneuver things. Where when you use tape runner, once you kind of go down, you have to leave it down or rip it off. So this, you can still position it and wiggle it until you get it where you want it. All right, this one gets popped up with dimensionals. So let's just grab those and put those on. That goes right in the middle. Something like that, maybe. Let's bring it down. I'm trying to match up where this and that, where all the corners kind of meet. You can get your ruler out if you need to. Now, these two. Let's get these stamped and let's see what our inside says. Oh, I think we just have enjoy your special day. Again, with a little strip of designer paper. So this strip will go either on the left or the right. I think I'm feeling it on the left-hand side. So when we grab our piercing mat, we're gonna stamp these in peacock. So let's grab way on the bottom. And I think we use real red for the flower. So pretty peacock. And we need to clean this one. Clean this one. Let's clean that one, and we'll clean this one. All right, so we have here, I would put this here as a guide. Otherwise, you might stamp it in the middle, and then you're not gonna be happy because you have designer paper. Now, if you don't put designer paper, you would maybe wanna stamp it in the middle. So now we have an idea where this goes. So enjoy your special day. You can go right there. And then it's your birthday is right here. So that's gonna go here. And then I think that I cleaned that one. Let's just double check. Yep, okay. That's in pretty peacock as well. Right there. And now we have red. And it is stamped off. Love how 3D it looks. Yeah, good, good, good. Hi, Sue Beasley. Watching from Australia. Welcome, welcome to my friend down under. All right, this you guys will want to ink up and then stamp off. And it's a different flower. So hang on, hold the phone. One moment, please. It's actually that one. Okay, so let's try that again. See, we're using another flower. So we'll stamp that. Or is it even, yeah, it's that one. Yep, and so this guy goes over here. And then ink up, stamp off. We're gonna fit a little one over here. And ink up, stamp off. We're gonna put this one right about here. All right, then wild wheat. I'm gonna leave that set for a second. Wild wheat, and we're gonna do the stamping off. Now, honey, hi little girl, what are you gonna do? I see you, yep, hi. You want some love, don't you? Okay, so this circle is actually the smaller of the two circles. There's actually the bigger. So this really confused me, you guys, I'll be honest with you. That middle of that is big, bigger than that. So that fits in there and that fits in here. That doesn't really fit in any, maybe that one fits in there. So I think I'm trying to figure out what we did, because I don't know if because if you can see here, it's bigger. That's what we did. We double stamped it, I think. So I don't think we made a note to pull anything else. Or we found a different circle stamp, but it's bigger than what, so you're gonna stamp off, you're gonna fill up part of it, and then you can stamp off and fill up the other part of it. And it fills in the middle. All right, it's kind of a little bit darker in one section than the other, and that's quite all right. Hi, honey. All right, we're not gonna get yellow paws, girlfriend. All right, so you're gonna stamp that, and then we're gonna go right like that. See, it fills it in then. And do one more. Stamp off, fill in the majority of it, and then stamp off and fill in the other part of it. So you can see it pretty much filled in our circles, even though it's too small for that middle. I don't know why that is like that, but that's what they did to us. Hi, honey bear. What are you doing? Okay, you want to lay with your brother back there? No? Okay, good. I don't know how you guys would both fit back there. So far, so good. Now, our ribbon. Can you guys see here that this ribbon is actually darker than this? This is coral and that's red. We're going to talk about that here momentarily. So let's glue these things together. So this ribbon is, or this oval is actually, cut it right down the middle, you guys. Just like that. And that's how you get the red on the side, like that. So we're gonna flip this over and we're going to get this prepped and ready. So don't put a lot of glue here, just a little bit like that. And then this can get a little bit. So this goes right on the left side. Okay. And then this, you want to make sure that it's flush on the top and the bottom, and you can wiggle it back and forth till you get it how much you want to see here. Okay, and let that dry because it's still kind of wiggly. Flip that over. Do the same thing on this side. You kind of want to make sure they're even though. Okay. And if you see that you have any extra red hanging, you can take your scissors and trim it if you need to, but you shouldn't if you got it pretty centered. So that's kind of ready for the middle. And then this, I notice I have a little bit of white hanging there over the edge. If that bothers you, all you have to do is grab out your trimmer and trim a little hair off and you should be good to go. All right, so then this is going to get a little bit of liquid glue. And this will go right onto the inside Loft Lagoon mat. And now you've got, you could have stamped a flower down here too if you wanted, but I felt like it was pretty enough just like that. And that inside is what is actually matching the envelope. So it all goes together so nicely. All right, we got to talk about our ribbon, you guys. So you should pick off or cut off what you need, or let's see here. So I actually have a tail and a loop, and then a tail and a loop. So I need about that much ribbon. So for inquiring minds, it is, let's say 10 inches. And you could get by with 10 inches. And we need to color it. All right, so we're gonna grab the real red ink. Hi, buddy. Oh my gosh, you guys, you gotta see these toes. Look at the toes, just hanging right up. And there's a head. All right, there's your little dose of hunky, since you haven't had a little dose lately. All right, we need to grab a sponge dauber or a sponge, but unfortunately, all I have sitting by the sink is a sponge. And I'm not about ready to risk getting up and disrupting my kitten. So these are retired, you guys, but sponge daubers are not retired. So either use a sponge or a sponge dauber, but what you're doing is you're just inking up and you're coloring the ribbon. All right, and this might, warning, this might make your fingers get full of red ink, and that's part of stamping, is getting inky fingers, you guys. So if I was smarter and more on the A game, I would have done this first. So it would have given the ribbon time to dry a little bit, but I can tell you that no matter how much you let it dry, it's still gonna make your fingers red as you work with it. So I've got my real red ink, and I'm doing both sides. You definitely want to do this on a scrap paper or your silicone mat so that you don't get ink everywhere. You can wash it off. He is really relaxed, Linda. He really is. All right, so I'm gonna just keep coloring the ribbon. You guys, if you've never colored ribbon before, and this is not something that appeals to you and you've got this class for me, I think it will look perfectly fine with coral as well. just a little bit lighter. They had a rough day today, you guys, because they went for their first little vet checkup and they got their rabies shots today. So they're a little bit, Honey's full of it yet, but Hunky's definitely worn out. All right, so I'm good with the coloring there. All right, so you can see a difference here between the colors. One's definitely more red. All right, it matches now. So what we can do is grab our tear and tape. I think it's always underneath on my side here. And then we're gonna grab 2 waiting in the wings and 2 are gonna go down on the edge here. Okay, I gave that enough time to dry and it makes it look like I have a bow here, you guys. It does, it looks like a bow, but I don't have a bow. I have a tail coming out that way. And then I'm afraid to touch it because I'm gonna get red fingers. All right, so I'm getting it to the tear and tape, right? And then it's wet, you guys, and that is what's happening here. It's not wanting to stick. You gotta be very careful. This is where you might let it dry for a little bit before you do this. I'm just going to tape it, right? All right, and then I'm gonna make a loop and bring it back like that. Okay, and actually, the struggle is real. I'm picking this off actually, because otherwise it's not gonna stick. And you know what I'm gonna do? Because I don't wanna risk, I'm gonna set this over the top of this because otherwise I'm gonna get ink all over it. All right, so we're gonna make a little bow here, like that. And put that down. Now we're good. Now we're cooking with oil, you guys. And then we're gonna make the tail on this side. It's gonna come out right there. Something like this. I'm putting that paper over the top so I'm not getting ink all over it. Take that. You guys, this is the messiest part about tonight, I'm guessing. Okay, and then this last little bit is gonna come out. There, good to go. Let's trim that, and that's already trimmed, but I'm gonna just do a little angle. All right, let's get you out of there. All right, messy, you guys, very messy. But now, you gotta figure out if you like the way it looks or not, okay? Because at this point, you could finagle things slightly before you actually glue it down. Like this, if you wanted to move it over a hair, you could, like that. And this one, if you wanna make your loop a little bit less, you could still pull that down and make it a little bit smaller. So it's not, you can make it a little bit smaller. And this one too, because we can pull that up. So it made it a little bit smaller. All right, now when you get it exactly how you want it, it's live. I would love to have that one for next month. Dot Gardner, you sure can. Just message me, okay? I think you can just send me an email or Facebook message me. Just something so I can confirm that I can get you written down in my my class list over here. Guys, I'm just gonna put a couple dimensionals back here, like this. And perfect. We're gonna put that right in the middle, like that. Honey, what are you doing, girlfriend? Nobody wants to play with me, Mom. And she brought her little toy, you guys. All right, now we can pull in some of these peacock ones are pretty, and the pink ones, pretty in pink. All right, let's get this one down. And then we could put a big pink one over there maybe, and a little peacock over there. And let's see, we need one more to put a fifth one on here. And I'm feeling a big peacock one right there. All right, we can definitely Stella the edge of the oval here. You could also Stella the embossed Lost Lagoon mat. And then you could, if you wanted, you guys, you could put a little bit all over. Oh, you guys, I got my seat back. Nice. All right, just a little bit of Stella. Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. That was a lot more complicated than what it seemed. That ribbon is what got us hosed up for a moment, but we came through it with flying colors, you guys, for a very pretty card here. All right, there's 3. We have 1 more. And the last one is a little bit of stamping and assembly again. So let's grab it and let's rock through it. All right, let's see what we got. Make sure our fingers aren't all red. All right, we've got lots of pieces, and I think we decided we're decorating the envelope. Now, if you see on this one, our little white's gonna flip, hang out the edge here. So let's get this glued first. I'm not going all the way to the edge because I know that it doesn't go all the way to the edge. So we're gonna put that right about there. Okay, and then we can grab the scissors, trim off that side, and we'll trim off this side. So that's done. But I think what I'm gonna do for the flap here is grab the scissors, or the scalpel, the trimmer. Do that. So I took a little hair off the flap, but there's still plenty of adhesive in there, so I think we're good to go. All right, then that will be for our inside, which we cut later. And we cannot glue this down quite yet. I have to remember I want mine down just a hair. Oh, there's lots of stuff in here, you guys. Wow, look at all this fun stuff. All right, we can glue these. So this 1-inch one goes on the left and that one goes on the right. So what we can do is flip these and we're gonna put our glue. Now that's pretty paper too. My grandma would have loved that paper. She loved her roses. All right, so let's put, thanks Melody. All right, let's put this one over on that side. You guys, so it's trickery, right? It makes it look like the DSP goes all the way, but it surely doesn't. All right, so then let's flip this and we'll bone fold this really quick, okay? And we're gonna glue this onto here and then this onto there. So let's get some glue back here and glue on the back. I refer to that as the arm, you guys. I called it an arm. All right, so this is gonna go onto our coral. So we have peacock and coral here, coral. All right, and then this, make sure your opening is at the bottom. And I always do it flush at the top. And then I can always trim off the bottom if I need to. So make sure that's flush here and straight. And then if you need to, that's where you can trim off. You can see there's a little bit there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit hanging over the edge. So let's grab the trimmer back. And just gonna set that right in here and see if I can't get that off. Okay, good. We trim that a hair. All right, now let's do a little stamping. We can't adhere quite yet. We have It's Your Birthday. Enjoy your special day, guys. So we got, let's get that clean and enjoy your birthday. And we were done with that little bit of coral on there. And we're gonna prep this for peacock. So, all right, we need this one. And this says, enjoy your special day. All right, Jennifer Jones, no problem. So we're gonna put that there. And then our circle, or oval, I finally called it a circle, Sandy. It's actually an oval. Our modern oval has It's Your Birthday. And then we're gonna prep, as long as we have the ink open, we're gonna put a little bit of peacock ink right there. And we're going to have that ready for our splattering. And we don't have any stamps on the inside. So I think we can clean these real quick. and the splattering, you guys. So let's grab our sheets back right here and cover up our stuff. Drop that little drop of water right back on the block here just to help. And that's where the aqua painters come in handy. It lets you keep water right by your side. All right, grab the Stella pen, bone folder, and this is where the fun happens. We're just gonna go a little zoomy in, putting a little bit of ink into the tip of the Stella. You might need a little bit more. Oh, see, I put a lot there, but it's not too much. But you can see it goes everywhere, all the way up to there is where that went. All right, so we just got it so that there's a little bit of Stella splatter juice on there, a little Stella colored ink there. All right, let's move this out now. And, okay, so we have, you guys, this is so pretty. This is from Textured Floral. I think it's called Textured Floral dies. And then these are from the Nature's Prince dies. Right here, these little guys. We could Stella them. And let's put a little on this one. It should be cleaned out, good. Your little oval here is in coral. And then you have a vellum square that is 2.5 by 2.5, and it's embossed with the Painted Textures embossing folder. So pretty. All right, so we need all these pieces, and let's put this together. Now, this time I'm gonna remember it. When I made mine, I centered this, and it got top heavy. So I think I'm going to make sure I do it a little bit lower so it doesn't get so top heavy. And what we can do is put a little bit of liquid glue here at the bottom, and we could attach, you know what, that's really thicker than I want it to be. So let's, you know what, we're gonna cut this at 3 inches, and then we're gonna cut it down to 3/4 of an inch, I think. So it's a little bit thinner and not so bulky on the bottom. Could it even be a 1/2 inch? No, let's go with that. So, there. That was just our little decoration on the bottom inside for this card. And it didn't have to be as big as what we had it. All right, then this is ready for gluing. And we need a little bit of liquid glue. We'll get that put on the inside, guys. So that's out of our way. So just flip that open. That goes in there. All right, something like that. All right, so now this. I'll be honest, it's a lot of work to do the ribbon conservation when it's something this small, because you're gonna end up taping it here and you're only gonna save yourself a couple inches. So in this case, you guys, I probably would just cut 3 of them and call it a day. Let's grab our tape and then put that back down, because I think we're done with that. Grab your tear-in tape, and we're gonna make our 2 waiting in the wings. Bit late, but love the card. Thanks, Christine. All right, now I mentioned I don't want to do it in the middle, so I'm going to do it down up a little bit from the middle. So let's pick these off. And so let's say I want my top one to be here, and this one to be here. And I can take this and see how much, yep. And then that would put this right about there, and then my foliage. So I'm good with that. So I remembered it this time, you guys. We're gonna go a little bit below the middle, and all I'm doing is lining up these 3 ribbons, kind of like back to back. And do one more. And then don't forget to put your tape on the back over the top, otherwise they risk coming out later. All right, so get them so they're nice and snug together. They like each other, so they're next to each other. And then you can pick the tear-in tape off. A little bit of liquid glue, a little dab will do ya. All right, this goes, did you guys make sure your flowers are going the right way? I didn't call that out before I put my ribbon on, but I was making sure that they were going up, not down. All right, so there's that. And then our vellum. The vellum is popped up. So what we're gonna do is put a couple dimensionals right onto the front here, like that. And then we're gonna just, it doesn't matter, you guys, there's no front or back to this really. Just put that. Now, the middle here on each side is what I want coming out of the ribbon. Like that. All right, then we need to put a little tear-in tape. We're gonna grab 2 weighting and then we'll put 1 down on the back right corner. And the first one to go down is going to be, oh, see, I have the guide here. So I'm gonna set my one here. So that's the first one. It's just right on the corner like that. And then we have another one. Kind of like that. So just, I'm catching the tails on the back. And what I might do, because I already have it prepped, is I might take and set that tear-in tape down. And now this is so pretty. You guys, this is that fine shimmer paper. It comes in navy and Lost Lagoon and Berry Burst and one more color. I'm gonna set that here. Now, this gets covered up. If you wanna save this like we did on the last card and cut that off and have it coming out the side, you could, but we didn't use it. We didn't utilize it, but you could, like let's say you wanna cut this right here to save it. Now we're going to set our oval in that. So we've got that. You could utilize this and make it look fuller up there. So you could trim those like that so you can't see them. And we're gonna find a spot to tuck that in later. Or just put it back there and don't worry about it. All right, so we need to grab some more dimensionals. And what we're gonna do is prep the back of this with dimensionals. So for those that are tuning in later, know that going into this, I did have a couple of this class left. If anybody wants to get these kits, I think I have 2, possibly 3 left. So just reach out to me if you're watching this and you're like, oh man, I wish I would have had this class. Then this is gonna go here. Perfect. And now we're gonna glue this though. I think we got a lot of height going on. We don't want or need more height. So, and you know what? We might as well go up here too. A little bit of glue. And that just gets put in the center. I'm gonna try to make sure my It's Your Birthday is straight. That's kind of important. That will go right here. And I didn't need this, so we're just gonna let that sit there. But I do wanna see where I can fit this in, right? So I'm thinking it could go possibly like right up here, kind of fill in there. And what I'm gonna do is just put 1 glue dot right in the middle back here. And I'm gonna scalpel this. So let's grab my scalpel, tweezers, AKA tweezers. And we're gonna just actually not grab it from there. We're gonna grab it from right there. Kind of put it right there. Kind of fills in the background a little bit more. Okay, perfecto changeo. And then grab our pearls again. So we've got peacock, and I feel like I used to have one over there. So let's grab a pink one and put that back over there. And then we'll put one right there. A little pinky right there. Maybe a big pink right there. And we'll put a little peacock right there. Move this down a hair. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there you have it. So let's see what this looks like finished. Thanks, Sherry Stewart. All right, got that. I like it. Okay, so just to show you the difference. This one I did in the middle. That one, I brought it down a little bit. So this one's got more empty space here, and this one has more empty space kind of there, but I feel like it's like heavier down here, but then it's made up for it because it's heavy right there. Either one works. And again, you wouldn't have to pop up everything that I popped up. You could have definitely not popped up the coral to kind of save yourself some height. And then there's that. Press your gems down really good so that they don't fall off later in life. All right, and let's pull these all back and see what you guys think. Now that we have them all done, you can tell me what your favorite one is. We tried different things, so especially if you're newer to watching me and you don't know about all these coloring ribbon and splattering your Stella, hopefully you learned something. I know those people that watch me regularly see that kind of stuff all the time. Or normally, I should say. I wouldn't say all the time, but it's more normal over the course of years that you see me, I do that stuff. But I feel like I don't always decorate the envelopes, you guys. And so it's really fun with an ink, paper, scissors to take the time to actually decorate the envelope. So I know class took a little bit longer than normal tonight, but you know, we did cut our designer paper together as a group and we did decorate our envelopes, you guys. So like they match so nice when you have them decorated. I love it. So here's that, you guys. And then the last card here. Oh, it's so pretty. You guys look at it. It's so nice. Okay. Oh man, I don't know. I'd almost say if I had to, I thought I was going to pick that one first, but I love this real red with the peacock and the lagoon. I almost might pick that one as my favorite. I don't know. What would you guys pick as your favorite cards? Or your favorite card for tonight's class? It's always fun to get another set of cards done, you guys. And as a reminder, we showed, if you guys caught me late and came in late, I showed off the ink, paper, scissors for next month. Are these 4 different fun folds. That's just the recipe card in there. And then that's the last one. So just know that's what we're making next month for ink, paper, scissors. I also, you guys, I have just while you tell me your favorite cards, coral and garden green. Oh, very good, Debbie. I like that. Donna likes them all. Oh, so pretty. You guys, I got my Memories and More class all set to go. You guys, we're going to be making 19 cards next week, Thursday. Is it Thursday? The 2nd, I think. And then I've got it in person on Wednesday. So you guys, 19 cards for the Memories and More class. Some are duplicates because of how they did this different packet, but some are big like this, and you'll have matching envelopes to go with it. But you can still, there's still time to get signed up for this class. It's called the Memories and More Berry Christmas. That one, the little gems, you got to press them down really hard. Otherwise, they don't always want to stay. So Memories and More, you guys, is ready to go. It's the first in person and then the second online. So you guys can get in on that yet. Gina also wanted me to share with you guys, she's got her card buffet on Sunday the 5th. I know some of you have been reaching out already for her card buffet. So Gina Bulow is on my team, and she teaches this class in person on the 5th, and then she's also doing it via online. So you could get another whammy of 6 more Christmas cards under your belt if you need to. So she's got that in person and then online on the 5th. And her technique class, it's not a club. This is Gina's technique class, you guys. The technique is showing you how to cut your paper to make the blocks like this, and then to interchange them, and then designing cards that use the blocks. And then she also threw in a technique. It's called the, fracking. Fracking, is that what they're calling that? Fracking, how to do that with the strips of paper. So this is Gina's technique class, and that's coming up, I think, November 6th. You guys, I'm planning to do my showcase on Wednesday, the 25th. As soon as I can figure out the time, tomorrow I'm gonna figure out the time, and I'll set up a little event so you guys can see it. Faye, yes, you did send me a note. You guys, I wasn't on my emails today. I prepped for my helpers, you guys. It's one thing to get cards designed, but it's another thing to get it ready for the helpers. I'll tell you, I spent 5 hours today prepping all the cardstock for die cutting, embossing, and scoring because I have the most amazing helpers. I could never do this by myself. So I got, for 6 helpers, I got everything ready today. It took me 5 hours, plus took the cats to the vet today, you guys, and I just was not on my emails today. So fractured. I was thinking like fracturing, like I always think of like the when you dig in the well, like the fracturing. So that's fractured, perfect. So yeah, Sophia, I did kind of see that, but I did not necessarily make a note or update it in my book. And you guys, I don't usually respond to your email until I actually do something. Otherwise, I find that I respond to the email and then I don't always do it. And I've caught myself making mistakes that way. So if you don't hear from me, it doesn't mean I didn't see the email. It just means that I haven't had a chance to get to my book or be at my computer to properly document it. Or I didn't have my purple book, you guys. So this is my amazing purple book that I keep track of apps. Oh, there's Pat. I knew that I had it somewhere. So Pat and Connie and Karen, I got your mail from the other day. I couldn't find it. It was in my book. So I was looking for it all over the table and I couldn't find it. So you guys, this is my book where I keep track of all my class signups. And so we just want to make sure that we get your name in here for when you sign up. So I've got 52 people, you guys. So 52 people. But not everybody's online with me. So if I happen to draw a number for somebody who's in person, because Diane's in-person peeps are also listed in my book, we do that just because we need to know how many to plan for. And so if I happen to draw a name that is somebody in person, I'll draw another name because Diane can do what she wants for in-person class for her benefits to her peeps. Melanie wants the ink, paper, scissors. Perfect. Awesome. So definitely we'll get you signed up for next month, you guys. I am going to go to my random number generator. Just to be good, we're going to put 52. And then if somebody happens to be in person, I'll just draw a different name. So I'm going to put in here 52 and I'm going to click the word generate. And let's just move that there for now. And when I hit generate, a number is going to appear. So we're going to hit generate. 49. 49 is Laura Sullivan. Yay to Laura Sullivan. You are the winner of a door prize. I feel like you recently won something too. So good job. I'm going to have a door prize for you in your next package that we have going out for you. Yeah, so Sandy says her dog lays behind her too when she's in her craft room, right behind. He was keeping my back warm, you guys, the entire time. It was awesome. So definitely don't complain about stealing body heat from him. So, all right. So yes, you guys, don't hesitate to already reach out if you know you want ink, paper, scissors. Just know though, you guys, I have a tendency that if you tell me that you want a class twice, it's extra work for me because I have to go through the entire list to see if you've already signed up. So like Melody right now, perfect. I'm putting you down in my book. You can email me. I'll respond to your email. And just know, though, that you shouldn't sign up for class again. We will make sure that we figure out how much you need to send when the time comes. So, like, if you're telling me now, yep, I want the next ink, paper, scissors, great, tell me. But when I do my showcase, if you put in there, like, that you watch the showcase and you want to sign up for all these classes for the month of November, and you tell me you want ink, paper, scissors again, I end up signing you up again. And then we don't catch it till the very tail end when we're writing out slips. And so just know that if you tell me you want a class, the best thing you guys can do is just note it in your calendar or in your book, wherever it is that you keep track of things, that I don't then have to sign you up again. So that really helps me to keep things straight. So I'll check my emails, you guys, in the next 24 hours or so. Tomorrow we do have another bigger design day. Diane's coming over and she's going to help me, and we're going to work on translucent floral Stamp-A-Stack. So she's teaching the in-person version of that, and I'm teaching the online version. So we're going to design the cards tomorrow. And also tonight, between tonight and tomorrow, I'm going to wrap up the Berry Christmas game night card class, which is coming up at the end of November. And I have a new class that I'm teaching at a local restaurant, you guys, next month. And it's gonna be a true beginners class with 2 cards, no die cutting, maybe only some punching. And I have those 2 cards to design for November yet, and then I'll be able to do the showcase on Wednesday. So lots and lots of stuff that we're going to be working on, and it's really hard, you guys. I don't have an administrative assistant, and I say that, and sometimes people get it, and sometimes they don't realize that. It's like I'm the only one that checks my emails to sign people up, so I can't. It's hard to do the designing and staying focused, because if I would have my sound on my phone, you guys, I would be on it all the time checking, and I would never get anything done. So like when I go into design mode or prep mode, I kind of like to stay off the phone as much as possible. So it helps. But you guys, I just realized if you want to indulge me for just maybe 4 or 5 more minutes, I have Happy Mail that I forgot to share with you guys. I want to share with you what I got recently for some Happy Mail from people. So let's flip the camera back down here and show you what I have. And let's move these pretty cards out of the way. They're so pretty. All right, you guys, I have this awesome and amazing bee card that I got from Joanne Kahn. I love it. She says, Christine, AKA the beekeeper, thank you for always being so cheerful and inspirational. You truly are the bee's knees, and I appreciate all your classes, lives, and laughter. Today isn't your birthday, but we will say happy bee day. Hugs, Joanne. And you guys, I love it. It says, you're the bee's knees. She's got this awesome bee, like kind of bouncing off of a hive here. Nedra wants to sign up, but we'll wait till the showcase. Perfect. Yep. You betcha. Do I have time to relax? Not really. Somebody emailed me this weekend, and they said, I hope you had a really restful weekend. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I did. But look at this, you guys. Happy BD. It was definitely a crazy, busy weekend, but I live for that kind of stuff, you guys. It was a good combination of stamping and friends. Happy bee day on the inside. You guys, this could be for anything. It's not even necessarily a birthday card. It's a bee day, right? Everybody should have a good bee day. You guys, we had a good Friday night fish fry on Friday. I had a double class on Saturday. We had a gender reveal party on Saturday afternoon. And then we went by friends Saturday night later, different friends. And they're having a girl, so that's pretty amazing. This card came to us from Miss Pat Fleming. I have to tell you, I am Pat Detlefson. What was that? Was that Hunky that made that noise? Oh my gosh, wow, he sounded so crazy. No, there's Hunky. Little whiner. So, oh my gosh, you guys. Now I'm trying to remember. I opened this card up Friday night while we were on our way to the fish fry. And it says, have to tell you, I used one of the straws from the Autumn Creative Escape. I didn't know I needed it, but I do. Please thank Tyler for suggesting them. Hope you have a great fall and no camping this fall. So this came from Pat Detlefson, right, Pat? I don't know if you're watching tonight, but you guys, I have a lot of Pats in my life too, just like I have a lot of Lindas and a lot of Karens and a lot of Susans. And so there are 3 current Pats in my life, and I'm pretty sure this was Pat Detlefson. So, all right. This one, you guys, came to us from Angelique McClendon. Oh man. So you guys, I try to multitask as much as I can. And so we were on our way to dinner on Friday night, and this is when I actually opened up all this mail in the car on the way over there. And Tyler yelled at me very nicely. He said, can you just look up for 10 minutes, like for the last 10 minutes of the car ride, because he wanted me to see this outside, because the leaves were changing color. We were having lots of reds and greens, and the lake was coming up. And he's like, can you just look up for 10 minutes and stop looking at your mail? But it was so fun to get this pretty mail. So this came from Angelique, and she decorated the outside of her envelope to match with this autumn paper. And again, this is another card with the fractured technique that we were just talking about. And so we are definitely going to case this when it comes time for one of our upcoming classes. I'm not quite sure which one yet, but there's going to be one where we do this. It's time, right? All right, this one came to us from Sherry Everett. You guys might recognize this card. This was one of the Let's Just Stamp cards that we did back in August featuring Playing in the Rain. And she's got the inside decorated with the clouds too. Thank you for all the fun. I love it. So no, you're square, so nothing for shipping, Sherry. You're good to go. We are all caught up. This one came from Miss Mary Lemke, and she has a note in here too. And I sent her some surprise bee wings, and she said, what a blessing I am. I love it, Mary. And she said she saved paper, so she cut out a mat out of this bottom mat so that it got utilized somewhere else. And this was one of the All About Autumn cards, and she used a different ribbon here. I think that's not the same natural ribbon. I don't know. I haven't really used it much since it's been out of stock. But so this is one of All About Autumn layouts, and she just reversed her paper. Very nice. This one comes to us from Dion Miller, and she's got some of that Splendid Thoughts or Splendid Day designer paper from last year with some shimmer brushed gold and rose gold paper. A little embossing on the background here. It says, thank you for your kindness. Some of the rose gold with white ribbon. And she won the Wounded Warrior basket, you guys. So she did the swap, the retro swap with five different groups, and so her box was like 12 or 13 pounds. It was a huge box. This one's from Julie Kaler. So you guys see, this is what I do. I put Post-it notes in the inside, and so I have a good memory of who sent the card. So told you guys, Post-it notes are what I live by. So this is a thinking of you. It's from the like an ice cream cone class from a couple of years, or ice cream cone suite from a couple of years ago, and some of those vellum. There's like a vellum doily type thing. And she, either that or she cut that out and that's a die. And it says, thinking of you. And so that's from Julie. This one's from Laura Sullivan. See, I save the envelopes too, so I get good at that. And this one is that Turtle Friends stamp set. And this was actually, if I remember correctly, this was a bingo card or similar bingo layout that we had, or like Lucky Hand game night. And so that's from Laura Sullivan with our little turtle. And this one is from Jean Terwilliger. And she is going to be doing the escape with me again. And she gave me a little purple-licious ornament card. She's got like a shimmer back here. That looks like the hydrangea acetate. Very similar, but maybe it's a little different. The distress tile embossing folder on here. And that was some of the sweet ice cream ribbon from a couple years ago in Blackberry Bliss. And some glossy dots on here. Very pretty, Jean. And then this one, last but not least, I believe was Vicky Rodriguez. And yes, it's Vicky, yay. She did a little gatefold here for us. And this is the Ornate Garden, mixed with that new set called Heartfelt Hexagons, and a little bit of the pecan pie ribbon. And she added in some of the in-color dots here that are they were on low inventory or they're better now. She did a double mat on the inside, but she didn't put white, which is what we would traditionally do. She put the yellow on top of a brown and mixed with the mint. It looks super cool and it matches the outside very nicely. So that one, and then the countryside dyes were used there. So very pretty. I love it, Vicki. So there you go, you guys. We got some extra Happy Mail that I can share for you. And if I am incorrect on this card, Pat, you'll have to let me know. But I wanted to say that was Pat Detlefson if I had to guess, you guys. All right. Sometimes my memory serves me well, and sometimes it doesn't. So, and that's where you guys ask me how I remember everything. I definitely use a lot of Post-it notes. All right. So I think we did it, you guys. Class was a little bit longer than normal, but just know if you need to ever watch the replay, you can always fast forward to a certain part. You guys, that's what's great about it. If you want to go to like minute 23 or like to minute 50, just fast forward as much as you need to. You can. I always tease people, they can shut me up, they can start me, stop me, however they want to. But just get your cards made. That's all I want, you guys. Don't let them sit there and collect dust for the rest of your life. Get them made and share them with somebody. So, all right, you guys. So watch for something on Wednesday. As soon as I know an exact time, because I know you guys appreciate knowing when I do that, because then you can kind of plan for it. So as soon as I know what time I'm going to do it, I will make an event and I'll create that and share it with you guys on Facebook, most likely. So that'll be on Wednesday, and then Kelly will be live with you guys on Thursday for Paper Pumpkin. If you guys need to get a paper pumpkin because you missed out on them, I do have potentially 3 of them here, and just reach out to me if you need it. And yeah, great Happy Meal. I would definitely agree, Christine. And then you guys, we're going into Halloween weekend. And so I don't generally do a lot of stuff with stamping related over Halloween. So I have no classes this weekend. Halloween is on Tuesday next week, you guys. I won't be seeing or talking to you from Wednesday, from like once I'm done with Wednesday until like the following class. So you guys have fun with your Halloween weekend if I don't see or talk to you, if I don't catch you before the next showcase. So, oh, Lynn, I'm glad you had a good evening. I had fun stamping with you guys. Hopefully you learned something and you enjoyed your cards. And again, reach out if you want to get one of my last kits for this class. Thanks, Gwen. All right, you guys. Oh, hi, Christina Hannon. Oh, I thought it said Christina Heiser. I've got a couple Christine H's, you guys. So, all right, you guys, lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs to you. We will see you the next time. I'm going to count to 10 just in case it ends early. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bye.